So I invite now
Jon.
Jon. Jon, I need to get to know Jon better. So I'm inviting Jon to really address us, and then after that we'll invite our councillors to come and sit at the front, and we'll have 20 minutes together.
Okay.
Thanks, Jon.
Thank you. Joe, for me, is probably hitting the nail on the head. We have an issue. Some of it is perspective, and some of it is an issue that is a real issue. Now, we can't deal with this in isolation as police officers. There just simply aren't enough of them, so I'll talk about that in a bit. We've got to do it in a partnership with yourselves, and that includes all the good stuff that you've been talking about in relation to making your houses really hard to get into, and when you're in there, real horrible places to be for a burglar. So all that good stuff around deterrence, alarms that are linked, alarms that are going off when people are in the house, doors inside the house that you can't get through. Because somebody's broken into your house, it's a hostile environment for them. If the alarm's going off and they can't get through doors, that's going to slow them down. They're not going to want to be in your house with an alarm sounding for so long and then they're going to get out. If it's a linked alarm to an alarm company, they get in touch with us. An alarm that goes off that's a linked alarm is a grade 1. And a grade 1 means we've got to drop everything and get everything in 10 minutes. It means somebody's property or somebody's life is in danger, and we go for those. And every day when we get a grade 1 call, we drop everything, we go for it. So that work with yourselves, your individual homes, is important because it protects yourself, it protects your property, it makes your address a hostile environment for burglars to be in, and that's what you want to do. But then Joe also talked around home watch and your WhatsApp groups, because that is the important thing. Most times we catch a burglar because somebody has phoned us and says it's happened, it's a thieves on, it's a grade 1. All cops love to catch a burglar. It's what we live for, and they will drop everything to go for there and go for that. So, Simon, stand up. He's PCSO for Bowden Hale. He will be more than welcome to help people set up home watches and WhatsApp groups, and that for me is how we're going to solve this as a community. Watching out for each other as neighbours, being in touch with us, we'll pass information on to you. When you're not happy with something, you get in touch with us and we can get somebody there straight away. Does that all make sense? So we will make sure that everyone who's here at this meeting and has left details will have details on how to contact us. And we're more than happy to assist you in setting up those home watch and WhatsApp community groups, because that's the important thing. Now, in relation to policing, I'm talking about perspective. Burglaries are horrible, robberies are horrible. And there was a gentleman, I'm afraid he's left because I was going to address that, where he was saying that he thought that Hale and Bowden was being targeted. What you find is there are certain areas that are targeted, and you've got different types of offences committed by different people. So at the moment within GMP, we're getting a lot of cars that are taken. They're either being taken because they're cloning the fobs or because they're taking the keys during burglaries. That's recognised as national and a GMP issue, and it's also an issue in Trafford, but not just in Trafford, in Hale and Bowden. It's the whole of the district. The whole of the district. And we're putting things as a force around that, around it's called Operation Dynamo, and that is an offence where somebody's taken a car and they've used force, or have been committed a crime that's used force in a car that's stolen by burglary. And we put certain things around that where a detective looks at it, we put a whole load of scenes of crime work around that, and that's closely looked at. So that's one thing. We then do have a certain type of burglar who come in looking for Asian jewellery. That's what they specialise in. They are very sporadic, very rare, but they're high profile when they happen. So again, if you've got a lot of high value jewellery, do you need to keep it in your house? Or is that better off kept in a bank somewhere? So they do get in your house, when the alarms go and they can't get through the doors, but even so your jewellery's in a bank, that's even better. And we've got some that specialise in going after watches as well, so that we can commit a burglary in relation to that. So yes, there are different groups that are targeting certain areas for different crimes. So please feel free to sit down. But they aren't targeting just Hale and Bowden. It's everywhere. When you look at the whole map of GMP, the City of Manchester, which is Didsbury and Wythenshawe and Withington, that's one area, Stockport, and then us on the edge, they are all seeing a slight rate of burglaries, but have always experienced those burglaries. So we are part of a big picture. So what I don't want you as a community to feel is is that you are specifically being picked on as a small area. It is a big problem in GMP, it is a wider problem in the UK, it is not you being picked on specifically. Does that make sense? Okay. In relation to policing, Councillor, you said that you'd quite like to see patrolling more often. I'd love that as well. Sir Ian talked about a little bit, yet there aren't as many police officers as we used to have. And we have to prioritise when we send those police officers. And we do it based on vulnerability and threat. So if somebody's life's in danger, somebody's a vulnerable person, we look at that. Burglary victims, for me and for the force, are vulnerable because it's a horrible crime. And it's ongoing time, we will send somebody. But on a daily basis, we have to juggle. Do we send an officer to a burglary that's occurred where the offenders have gone? Or do we send that patrol to a high-risk missing child who's missing, a domestic incident that's ongoing where someone's been assaulted, violent shoplift, or something else? So on a daily basis, that's constantly what we're doing. So occasionally we'll hear stories of we've been burgled and the cops didn't turn up for 2 days. On some days we get those grade ones, bang, 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 and that outstrips our resource. And we're going from one job where somebody's life's in danger to another, and then it does slip back. But we will always get a police officer to that burglary, and we'll always get a PCSO to do what's called cocooning. So you've had a burglary at one house, the PCSO will then come along and do house-to-house inquiry and offer crime prevention advice, because that has been proved to prevent a repeat target of the original address and prevent any other offences around it. So that's the work that we are doing, and it kind of explains why we can't have patrols always dedicated to certain areas. What we will do is we will put together some resource, and we will put it into an area where we think we're getting a lot of burglars at the moment. Trafford is just going through a process. We've restructured how we do our policing, and we are creating a proactive team. We had a proactive team 5 years ago, and they specifically targeted robberies and burglaries. And they're a group of officers who won't respond to those 999s, so they are free then to patrol certain areas, certain spots where we've got burglaries and we've got robberies. So we're looking to do more of that in the future from our restructure. Does that all make sense? But for me, we need to do this as a partnership. And what I would like to do is hold regular meetings, and this sounds like a good venue to do that, where we will come down and you can come and talk about those issues. You'll have all our contact details, so concerns you've got, you can raise directly with us. Again, does that all kind of make sense? Joe, anything I've missed?
No, the only other thing I would say, and I know you said before, when we say about have you got pictures, have you got valuations of your jewellery, I know you feel that's a statistic. You know, myself and the boss have been in the force a good few years, and there is nothing better than going into a burglar or whatever else you want to call them, our customers' homes, searching and finding an item that you know that they've stolen. And if you don't give us some identifiable things, I mean, watches with serial numbers and things are absolutely perfect. We find those in these people's homes, and a lot of the time if you've not given us those serial numbers and we can't trace them ideally, it's really frustrating, because there's nothing better, and I've been there, when you get that jewellery and you know that burglary has happened within the last couple of days and you haven't got a complete description of the jewellery and you're looking at it, and we do take it, don't get me wrong, but it's lovely to look at that person and say, I know this has come from a burglary 24 hours ago, and I'm speaking from experience here from my time at Wythenshawe, and locking him up and he's in custody, and then you can start doing your enquiries. But if you've got some really distinctive jewellery, please let us have those pictures. You see it every so often when we put it on social media saying, oh, has anybody identified this? I want to see that, because I want to go in that home and I want to pick that I want to pick that up because I know that doesn't belong to that person. So there is a point in it. So please let us have that. I know the value of it. Yes, it might be statistic. We need to know it though. But we need those pictures of property. Is there anything to say?
And one last thing. They aren't just statistics. I look at every single burglary crime that comes in my area, which is Elbow, Timpton and Hen. I look at every single one. I'm looking for any forensic opportunities, if we may have missed any CCTV. A detective will also look at that as well. So although an officer will turn up And it sometimes seems like it's just ticking boxes. Everyone is reviewed by me and is reviewed by a detective to see whether there are any lines of inquiry that can allow us to trace and arrest that offender. I made one 3 weeks ago. Came in the morning, we had a load of burglaries. Again, one of the members of the public said they've gone that way. We traced which way they'd gone. We did a load of work in the morning around a taxi that had been booked using a certain phone number. We traced that, we did a bit of work around where they'd been dropped off and found a house. We went and searched the house, we arrested 2, recovered a load of property and charged 2 with burglary and got them kept in custody. So every single burglary is looked at and reviewed to see whether we can chase it up and get somebody else for it. None of them are just ever in the source without us looking at that.
But again, that was identified as property.
And find out what happened with that one.